Hello, this is Briar. Welcome back to my Nano Beats series where I am examining the act of writing NaNoWriMo through the story structure of Save the Cat Writes a Novel. So today we are moving into beat number 10 of the Save the Cat story structure, the bad guys close in. The bad guys close in beat is the second biggest beat of the novel. So previously we had the fun and games, which took up a good quarter chunk of your entire story. And that's where you got to explore the Act 2 world with your hero. You got to introduce new characters, introduce new conflicts, all kinds of things like that to make it fun for the reader. You're delivering what the reader expected in the fun and games beat. So now we've passed that. We've passed the midpoint where everything turned again, and we are in the bad guys close in beat, which is sort of the opposite direction of the fun and games. The fun and games beat was either your hero exploring their new world and sort of going up to their false victory point where they feel like they're a success. Or they were going down, miserable, absolutely everything sucks until they get to their false defeat. So the fun and games and the bad guys close in are sort of making a V with the midpoint as their midpoint where they meet. So if you're fun and games, your hero was on an upward path doing really well to a false victory. Bad guys close in, everything turns and everything's terrible. If your hero was on a downward trend and they got to a false defeat point, bad guys close in, everything turns and everything's going up. Everything's getting better. The title of this beat, The Bad Guys Close In, sort of comes from action stories where your hero is trying to evade the literal bad guys, the evildoers who are out to catch them for some reason or another. And as you get closer and closer to the finale, those people who are chasing your hero are literally getting closer to catching them. But in the case of our novels, the bad guys don't have to be physical external presences. They don't have to be the evildoers. They don't even have to be the antagonist, because what's most important to focus on, and something that gets kind of lost in this title, is that the bad guys referenced here is the flaws that your hero has been exhibiting from the beginning of your novel through to this point. The bad guys are the mistakes, the bad choices, the people that your hero should not be friends with and yet they're very close to. These are the bad guys, the building tension, not so much literal bad guys who are coming to exterminate your hero. In an upward trend of a bad guys close in beat where your hero has suffered a false defeat at the midpoint and things are supposed to be getting better, things are getting better. Things are going well for your hero, but they might be finding that they're still not getting what they need. Things are going well in their wants or in their external world, but they haven't faced down their demons. They haven't faced down their flaws. They haven't learned the theme in any way, and they're still very resistant to learning that theme. Whatever it is that they need to learn over the course of this story, they're resisting it. So things might seem to be going very well. They might have a lot of success. They might have gotten a promotion. They might be doing well in their relationships, but internally there's still a gap. They're not making it to where they need to be. And that's because of their bad guys. Okay, I had to reset there because there was landscapers outside. Anyway, what does this mean for the writer writing NaNoWriMo? If at the midpoint you were completely on track, you've got 25K or more in your novel, you are following everything for the first half of the month, then the second half of the month, maybe life starts getting the better of you. Maybe Thanksgiving is coming, family's coming to visit, and stuff's just piling on and you're going to struggle to find time to write. If you were struggling to find time to write the first half of the month, you're not even close to hitting 25K in your 50K goal for the month, and your midpoint you were thinking of giving up, maybe with the Thanksgiving holiday coming up in America, or just the end of the month coming, things that were hectic at the beginning are starting to calm down, you're starting to get more in the zone, in the groove, you're writing more, you're doing better. All of these are possibilities for how you're dealing with the second half of the month of November. However, remember the bad guys. Think about your own flaws that might have driven you to do NaNoWriMo or to want to win NaNoWriMo or whatever it is what is it that's making you want this 50K in a month? And what is it that's been holding you back? And how are those things still possibly holding you back? Because this is really a point where personally maybe there's some introspection that you can be doing and thinking about how important is it to win NaNoWriMo and what is a success for you? These are some things that maybe you'll be thinking about in the next couple of days as we get closer and closer to day 30 and the goal of 50K. For our novelist in the meta story that I'm writing here, they had they had a false victory at the midpoint where they finished their big work project. They're on task, on track with their writing. They've got a new friend who's helping them meet their word counts every day. And then the midpoint happens and they're feeling good. They've got several days of holiday coming up. They've got plans. They're going to be writing. It's going to be great. And in the midpoint, we hinted that there's some things that are coming that are not so great for their external world, like a new project at the end of the month, but before the 30th. Someone's coming to visit for Thanksgiving. Some more things are happening in their external world that might affect their word count. So let's look at our novelist and see how they're doing in the rather long bad guys close-in beat. The novelist hunched over their laptop at the dining table, enjoying the quiet vibes while they could last. The sound of typing echoed out through their speakers as the bard was writing with them on video chat. The flow of words slowly petered out as the novelist got further and further into a scene.
Why are you stopping?
The bard asked.
Keep writing. The timer is ticking.
I don't know what I'm aiming for here. I need to think.
No thinking in NaNoWriMo, only writing. Think later.
The novelist rolled their eyes but tried to keep writing despite the swirling confusion about their story in their head getting worse and each word feeling more aimless than the last. A knocking on the door distracted them, and unlike the stress that had been building in them since their mom's announcement of her visit, they started to feel excited.
No!
The bard whined.
We still have 3 minutes left in this one.
Well, I have to go. You can finish it yourself. Text me your word count and I'll send you mine then. Gotta go.
No, I need you to keep writing with me. If you stop, I'll stop. I'll get distracted and I won't be able to keep writing, and then I'll fall into an internet rabbit hole and no more writing will get done today at all!
The knock on the door came again. 1 minute! Look, Bard, I have to go. Keep writing. We'll do it again tomorrow night.
Fine, but we have to write for a long time tomorrow to make up for this.
The novelist bobbed their head and closed the video chat with a wave. When they finally got to the door, their mother was standing there with her hands on her hip and her suitcase at her feet.
You know, I was starting to feel unloved out here on your doorstep,
she said. Then her serious expression broke into a smile and she stepped forward to wrap the novelist in a hug.
Good to see you, honey.
You too, Mom. She walked in, leaving her suitcase by the door, and looked around.
I have some presents in my bag for you, honey. Don't let me forget. I dragged it all the way up here for you. What are you working on?
She gestured to the laptop on the table and the novelist blushed. My writing project. I told you about it.
Just making sure it's not work. You need to take advantage of your vacations.
Well, I was going to spend this vacation writing, but I guess I'll spend more time away from my computer with you here, huh? Their mom grinned.
You can't write every day, though. You'll get sick of it, like you got sick of macaroni and cheese after you begged to have it for dinner every night for a month.
The novelist grimaced. Ugh, don't remind me. But writing is not the same. A lot of experienced writers swear that they're successful because they write every day.
I'm sure that's true, but those people may not have the same life and needs that you do. I'm sure there are plenty of successful writers who only write on the weekends, and who take holidays off to spend more time with their families. You can use this time with me and come in strong later. Don't make it more stressful than it has to be. Let yourself relax.
closed the laptop on the table, and moved to sit on the sofa.
Now tell me about your life. You mentioned some big work promotion.
Spending time with their mother was a big distraction from writing, but just like when they were working, the bard was always messaging them and suggesting times to get together to write. After dropping their mother at her hotel each night for the next 5 days, the novelists found themselves staying up later and later trying to keep up with the bard's writing plans. But no matter how many hours spent sprinting, they were always writing the same scene over and over. They added a few thousand words to their document, never deleting anything at the bard's insistence. But they also never made progress, and writing started to feel more like a terrible chore they were just getting through to get done. After taking their mother to the airport on Sunday morning, despite her arguments that she could take an Uber instead of putting them out, they sat back at their laptop at home and stared at the blinking cursor on the screen. The tracker in the corner read 40,000 words or so. They scrolled back through all the red text they had marked to delete after Nano and highlighted it. Delete. 28,438. Undo. 40,073. Delete. 28,438. Undo. 40,073. With a groan, the novelists shut off their laptop, silenced their phone, which was buzzing with more notifications from the bard, and slumped into their room to fall face first onto their bed. So there you have it. That is our novelist who is making some choices. There's some choices being made. Might not be the best choices, but there we have it. There we go. Next time, we will be looking at the all is lost beat, which is one of my favorites to conceptualize, but really, really hard and really important. So I will see you in the next one early next week, and then we are on the path through Act 3. See you on the next one. Bye.